For Focus for today, we thank you for joining us, and we thank RoofMax, ROOFMAXX.com, for sponsoring. Time to head over to Baird & Company for our ticker tip of the day, and that's where we find Steve Anderson. Steve, good morning.
And a very good morning to you too, sir.
So how are we ending the week?
Well, the sun is shining, which makes people happy, and there's a lot of green on my screen, which makes even more people happy. Dow Jones.
No, tell us about it.
Now, Dow Jones Industrial Average right now is ahead by 594 points, putting it at 33,818. Volume 369 million shares. The Nasdaq's ahead by 138, putting it at 13,611, and the volume there is 371 million shares.
And your ticker tip for the day?
Them apples.
Yeah. And your ticker tip for the day?
Well, very seldom do the investment markets necessarily do what we expect. And when I say what we expect, often people will try to base what they think is going to happen in the short run on the news of the day. And sometimes it doesn't turn out quite that way. When we started hearing about all of the continued and increasing problems in the Ukraine, the first thought was, oh my goodness, everything around the world is going to go down. It's probably going to go to zero. Oh no. And that's certainly not happening, and seldom does it. Generally speaking, what makes markets move is the anticipation of something. The whole thought process before it happens, and the reaction comes then when it actually happens, does something else. There used to be a saying, I haven't heard it said too much lately. Man, I'm not even sure I've heard it said recently, but it certainly fits, and that is that people will tend to sell the news and then buy the actual happening. So as the news is coming out to you, it's, oh boy, and then it gets here, and gosh, that's either not as bad as what one expected, even if it's exactly what one expected. Markets tend to take that positively if things are exactly as you expected. Yep. So don't get, I've said this in as many different ways as I can think of, is don't allow yourself to get too overtaken by the news of the day.
Yep.
And try to keep yourself a cool head.
And how do they get a hold of you for some of that help?
You call us right here at Baird & Company in Saginaw. The telephone number is 989-790-5724. Our Midland location is 989-839-9035. Or we're on the web at rwbaird.com and look for your branch. Either one of them is here.
All right, Steve, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you Monday.
Sounds great. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye now. Steve Anderson at Baird & Company with our ticker tip of the day. The Farmers Service Show with Farm Director Terry Henne is next after these notes.
The Windy City's home, Chicago. Saturday, April 9th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. The unmistakable sound of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's Chicago. Tickets start at $59 and are on sale now at the Soaring Eagle and Eagles Landing box offices or online at etix.com.
Saturday, feel the park. You see me walking by, and the tears are in my eyes. Look away.
Chicago, Saturday, April 9th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
If you leave me now, you'll take away the biggest part of me.
Rock, horns, and hits.
Does everybody really know what time it is? 25 or 6 to 4.
Chicago. Tickets are on sale now. Details at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Inflation just broke a nearly 40-year record thanks to Biden's out-of-control spending, and every second that goes by, you are losing more and more of your hard-earned savings. But you can fight back. Instead of letting Democrats treat your savings like their own piggy bank with trillions spent on their radical far-left agenda, you can protect what you've earned by converting your IRA or 401k into gold with Birch Gold Group. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bennett, and I'm one of Birch Gold's many happy customers. To learn how to set up your own gold IRA, get a free 20-page info kit when you text the word SHELTER to 989898. Gold-backed IRAs make it simple to ensure your savings will be there when you need it in a tax-sheltered account. No matter what happens in Washington, D.C., text SHELTER to 989898 right now to get your free info kit on gold IRAs. There is nothing to buy. No obligation at all. Text SHELTER 989898. Take action. Do it today.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show,
I guess we'll try to make sense of it all.
that is a very, very difficult job. We will have fun.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. Now, the only locally produced farm radio show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his farm show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. We're having ourselves a good day today. We are broadcasting from the Brentwood in Caro, the site where tomorrow we're going to have all sorts of activities going on. We'll tell you about that as we have been all morning long. It's an activity that has been around for, 17 years. It's my understanding this is the 18th annual. Dale, Will, come on over just for a second. Dale, you're with the Thumb Old Engine and Tractor Association. Took a little break over the past year or so, didn't we?
Yeah, we didn't have our toy show last year, but this year we're geared up and ready to go. We had one at our summer show last year. We had a lot of people come into that, good turnout. So we're hoping for a good turnout this Saturday.
And the nice thing about it is, as far as the restrictions are concerned, there aren't any that I'm aware of. How about you?
Not that we know of. So we're going to have a full house here. All the tables have been sold out for a couple of weeks. We've had vendors we've had to turn away. So we should have a real good day.
So you're going to have the opportunity for the first time here in a couple of years to buy, sell, swap farm toys, tools, antiques, new and used parts, literature for tractors and equipment. You know, that's something, Dale, that a lot of folks really don't have an appreciation for, is the literature on some of this stuff. It's amazing what these vendors have.
Yes, it's surprising where they can come up with some of this old literature. They have brand new manuals from back in the 50s and 60s that came with the equipment and look like it's brand new yet. So a lot of people have had this stuff hoarded away, and now they're starting to dig it out, and there's a pretty good market for it. A lot of people are looking for it.
So the Thumb Area Old Engine and Tractor Association is going to be having their 18th annual Farm Collectibles and Toy Show tomorrow. Well, as you can tell, we're going to give you a little bit of a sneak preview as we go through the program today. And incidentally, the weather is going to be a whole lot nicer tomorrow. We are going to have clouds around because we do anticipate the clouds to move in later tonight. We're going to see the winds change. Right now, we're at 22 degrees at the airport. We do have a north breeze at 13. 68% is our humidity, 30.33 and rising. is the barometric pressure. We do have a high pressure system that's building in over the Iowa-Missouri area. It's going to settle a little bit further to the south, and that's the reason why our winds will change tonight, come out of the southwest at about 10 miles per hour. It's not really going to warm us up much, but we'll be a whole lot closer to 30 tomorrow. We're looking for a high of 29, and our low tomorrow night will only be about 27. So we're not going to lose much. Sunday, though, we're not going to warm up a lot. We'll make it up to about 31. And then Sunday night, as a front settles down through the state, it's not only going to clear us out totally, but it's going to drop our temperatures right down to about 9 degrees. That front does not have any moisture associated with it. So other than what we picked up this morning, and in some cases 4, 5, 6 inches is not out of the question for some areas, especially over here in the thumb. That's going to be about it for the next few days when it comes to any precipitation. And temperatures will be a whole lot closer to what's average for this time of the year as we move into the work week next week. Average is 35 in the afternoon and 20 at night. We'll have more on the weather as we go through the broadcast. A lot more coming up here at the Brentwood as we talk about the Farm Collectibles and Toy Show as well. But before we get to all of that, and Cody Harris at Star of the West, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Our broadcast from the Brentwood here in Caro is brought to you today by the folks at Steiner Tractor Parts. You know, whether you have an Alice Chalmers, a Case, a Cockshut, a Ford, an International, John Deere, Massey, Minneapolis, Moline, and Oliver, they keep a warehouse stocked with new parts for old tractors, tune-up kits, electrical components, carburetors, rebuild kits, manifolds, mufflers, sheet metal, lights, rims, steering wheels. You know, you get the idea. They've got it. Steiner Tractor Parts, 800-234-3280, or go online at steinertractor.com. And incidentally, we'll have plenty of Steiner catalogs here at the show tomorrow. Cody Harris, good morning. How are you this morning?
We're doing well this morning, Terry. How about yourself?
Hey, we're doing really good. You know, the markets, are they settling just a little bit, or are we still on a wild ride?
Well, I want to say we're on a wild ride, but in the other direction, Terry. We're probably about as high as we were yesterday. It flipped an hour that and a little bit actually lower across the board, all commodities here today, Terry. Looks like we had maybe a little knee-jerk reaction to everything going on in Ukraine, but everything looking – But looking at everything right now, let's see. We got cash wheat. That's down 69, 827 on the white, 792 on the red. New crop wheat is also down 69, 851 on the white, 791 on the red. Cash corn is down 35 at 610. New crop corn down 23 at 527. Look over at soybeans. Cash soybeans are down 57 at 1545, and new crop soybeans are down 33 at 1354.
This week, I guess we could just put it all together and say Ukraine and Russia, or are there some other factors that are kind of weighing in on this deal?
Well, obviously, Ukraine, Russia is definitely the main driver of the market, but I mean, if you kind of dive into it a little more, I mean, you want to look at soybeans, you know, we're still trying to watch the crop over in South America, and actually, the Buenos Aires Exchange just reported that their good to excellent soy conditions fell again last week to just 24%, and it was 31% the week before that. So that's got a little bit of factor in that soybean market as well, something to keep an eye on. Then in addition to that, you're kind of looking over at wheat. Our weather here at home, it still remains kind of a bullish backdrop for wheat, just on the little side of things, which might have amplified what happened yesterday. But, a 6 to 10 day forecast is still showing a lot of air conditions for the southwestern plains, who have really been dry. And that wheat crop really looks like it needs a little bit of rain, Terry, as we move forward. So you got some, I guess, news on the backdrop of this Russia-Ukraine story, but mostly that's definitely the driver right now, and it probably will be the driver as we move forward.
A lot of folks, Cody, really don't understand how important the Ukraine would be to Russia. I mean, back several years ago, they were in the fold, then they went away. And I just got a funny feeling that the hierarchy over there has been just waiting for the opportunity to get this country back, because they have not only a lot of precious metals and a lot of product for manufacturing, but to have 25% of the arable black soil in the world, a lot of people don't realize that.
Oh, yeah. And then, you look at that, even when we come to the ag side of things, they're a big player in the ag industry. They do 29, that Black Sea region, Ukraine and Russia, they are roughly 29% of the world exports of wheat. Corn, both countries are in the top 5 as far as exportable corn goes. Then you look at that Black Sea region a lot, or at least for Ukraine-wise, sunflower oil is a huge deal out of there. They're one of the major shippers or exporters of sunflower oil, and when you look at today's soybean market, that's definitely a substitute for that, and we're already looking at a pretty tight market across the board for soy. So you affect that market as we move forward. They definitely got to look somewhere else to get those veg oils from. So, they're a huge player when it comes down to exportable grains and ag. And like you said, and they grow a bunch themselves as well. So it's just, they're definitely a lot bigger player than a lot of people were thinking or anticipating, Terry.
So, and again, so it doesn't surprise any of us really that the Russians are trying to get that territory back. And of course, everybody is looking at the remainder of the area and debating on what's going to happen there. I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that, won't we?
Very true. Time will tell in this situation. So, like I said, we'll stay tuned. And then I know I got about 3 screens right now that all got news feeds on them right now, just trying to watch and see what next is coming out.
Well, keep us posted. Cody Harris, thank you very much. You have a great day and a good weekend, okay?
You as well, Terry. Thank you.
You bet. A little bit more on those markets with Doug Klein from Oppenheimer. The market report brought to you by Schaefer and Beerline. This area's Ram certified ag dealer. Schaefer and Beerline knows trucks and vans, so you can buy with confidence from a dealer where family and service sells cars. Schaefer and Beerline since 1852. And the market report also brought to you by Ed Raymond and Sons, quality clothing and shoes since 1919. Carhartt's Red Wing shoes and boots, the Stormy Cromer accessories, all available right now at Ed Raymond and Sons, celebrating more than 100 years at 151 West Broad Street in Chesaning. Doug Klein, the drama continues.
Wow, like a rubber band, big time, or even worse, man. The trend is hot, and then the trend is now cold, but wow. Never seen it before. I know you haven't seen it before either, so. Yeah, crude's down 2% today, almost $2, 90.90. So they kind of jumped the gun by putting the price up 15 cents at the pump. I think they can pretty much eliminate that now because gasoline at 272-ish might justify in the 230s, but not 250. And I don't see that $4 coming around anytime soon. But of course, they were quick to jump on that talking bandwagon yesterday. We heard that quite a few times. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, the trend is not up today, and we'll have to see if we get a bounce on Monday or if they continue the bloodbath. But right now, the March corn, 659.5, down 35.5. The July corn is, I should say, December corn is 580.25, down 24.5. The March soybeans, 1598.25, down 63.25. The July soybeans, 1581, down 55.75. March wheat, 851.75, down 74.25. And the December wheat, 845, down 62.5. Crude oil is 90.86, down $1.95. Heating oil, 278.36, down 7 cents. Gasoline is $271.64, down 5.5 cents. Natural gas $444.90, that's down 20.75 cents. Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar gets you $1.2741 at the border, down 69 ticks. The yen is at 115.62, up 10 ticks. The euro's at 112.53, up 6 ticks. Dollar's at 96.74, down 40 ticks. Gold's unchanged, 1946.80. That's the best of the three. Silver is 23.94, down 74.25 cents. And platinum's at 1053.50. That's down $8.60.
Well, rest up this weekend. I got a funny feeling next week's going to be as crazy.
Going to be a good one.
Doug, take care.
All right. Yeah,
all righty. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Thumb Bank, serving the needs of farmers for well over 125 years. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust, with 2 locations in Bay City, also Cassidy, Kaysville, Pigeon, and Bad Axe. Lou Wehrman, come on over here just for a second. Looks like you guys are going to have a busy day here getting these tables and chairs all set up.
It's busy, but it's good work, and hopefully it sounds like tomorrow's weather is going to be good, so we ought to have a good crowd. And like Dale said earlier, we got all the tables rented, so it's just part of the deal.
Now, there is a cost. It's a donation, $3 for adults. Kids 12 and under are free.
Correct.
And I think it's really important that folks know that this money is going to go, a lot of it, toward the big show in August.
Right. This helps us finance that summer show and keeps us going keeps us in the green side of the money then, so we can put that show on in the summer.
Now, one thing that a lot of the vendors, they've always had a lot of success with this show. So that's the reason why it's as popular with them, is what it is. But some of these vendors come from a ways away.
Oh, yeah. So I think if I'm correct, we got some from Ohio coming again, do we? Oh, okay. And all over the state, because it's getting, there's not as many toy shows around as there used to be. And this is kind of the first one after the first of the year, as far as I know, around the state. And so it always gets people out of being cabin fever in the winter. So,
well, it's always this last weekend of February. So people can kind of plan on it if they want to come or they want to buy, sell, or swap. And boy, by the time the day is all done, there's some tired people because they've been doing a lot of shopping.
Right. But it's like you say, it brings people out and like you mentioned earlier, the literature thing's getting to be a big deal anymore. It's amazing the amount of nice literature that got put away. Somebody buys a tractor or a piece of machinery. Well, they know all that. They put the literature in the drawer, then now the piece is gone and the literature comes out. It's like brand new. So,
yeah, there's YouTube, but there ain't nothing like the old literature.
That's right. There's nothing like having that piece of paper in front of you.
Lou Wehrman, stick around. We'll be talking a whole lot more here as we go through the morning. Lou Wehrman, let's double check and find out what's going on with the dry bean industry right now. I've got Joe Kramer, Executive Director of the Michigan Bean Commission. And Joe, my first question has got to be, what's your take on the Bean and Beet Symposium? And what did you think of the new area that you had it at the Doubletree in Bay City?
Thanks for asking, Terry. We actually just had a little roundup or wrap-up meeting this morning, and we know we got to do something different next year with the sound, so that growers and vendors can both share some space but hear each other. Other than that, we like to be able to provide lunch. We like the open atmosphere that we had there, and we were pretty happy with attendance. So. As long as everybody can find a parking spot, and if we can figure out how to help them hear a little bit better, we're excited for next year.
Anything that really jumps out at you right now, Joe, that farmers took out of that show that they're going to be able to use this spring and summer?
Well, I don't know that the hot issue came out of the show, to be honest with you, but we're all watching these grain markets and trying to imagine their impact on acreage and just what's going to happen. Farmers have a lot of big decisions to make, and I think a month or 6 weeks ago they kind of had a plan, but those plans are always subject to change, and they're watching and looking for those opportunities today that the market's giving them.
So your take out of it. You mentioned about the sound, some of the other things going on. What was your impression, Joe? I mean, are we going to do it again there?
Yeah, I think so. We were real happy with especially the morning side of the event. Turnout was good. We might open the show doors a half hour earlier next year than we did this year. We hope the vendors enjoyed the 1 day in, right? Set up in the morning and be able to tear down at night. But we really appreciate the vendors supporting the event. If they're not there, we can't really have the event. And I hope they all went away feeling like it was a day well spent.
Joe Kramer, it sure was for us. We really appreciate it. Myself and Art Lewis, we had a good time, and we look forward to doing it again next year. You take care. Have a nice weekend. All right.
Thanks, Terry. Hey, special thanks to BASF and Nutrien for their support as well. So shouldn't forget them. Thank you.
You bet. I agree 100%. Joe Kramer, let's slide over to the Rummel Agency right now. Craig Voorhees joining me. And Craig, one thing that totally went under the radar this week is Grain Bin Safety Week. I bet you've got some suggestions, some ideas for us.
Well, yes, Terry, that did kind of fly under the radar. I don't think we even talked about it at the symposium. But, it applies to everybody, not just the big elevators. It applies to the folks who've got the bins at home. I know grain's being hauled out right now. And, if you have to go into that bin, please make sure you've got somebody there to keep an eye on you. And also make sure you've got all the proper safety equipment. Things can go wrong so quick, so fast in those things. And they usually don't turn out well when they do. So just exercise extra caution and make sure you're using the proper harnesses and safety devices and have someone there to help you.
I guess that's the key to the whole thing. First of all, the safety devices, but to have somebody or two people won't hurt to be there along with you that know what you have to do if something happens.
Certainly, the more the body, the more people, the better. And, that'll help rescue the person if necessary, and make sure you've done some training. I mean, even something as simple as watching videos online can give you information that could help save a life. So just do a little bit of homework and don't be in a hurry. And we really hope people just don't have to go into those things.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. You have a good weekend. We'll talk to you again next week. All right.
All right, Terry. Thank you very much.
You bet. Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency. We'll be right back.
The moment you fire up a Gator UTV, the engine has your full attention. The herd takes notice. The completed job is on the horizon. The trail meets its match. And the heat doesn't stand a chance. Just like that, you've made short work of a long to-do list. Run with us on a John Deere Gator UTV. Built with effortless four-wheel drive at the flip of a switch and our smoothest shifting transmission yet. One test drive and you'll know, nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere Gator for more.
Contact one of Tri-County Equipment's 11 locations in Bad Axe, Birch Run, Burton, Caro, Fenton, Lapeer, Marlette, Reese, Rochester Hills, Saginaw, or Sandusky, or visit Tri-County Equipment online at tricountyequipment.com.
Again, we continue our broadcast from the Brentwood. That'll be coming up at the bottom of the hour, next hour, talking about the 18th Annual Farm Collectibles and Toy Show. So back at 12:30 with that market update. We now conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM.